The Arctic is a land of extreme conditions, bone-chilling cold, endless darkness, and brutal isolation. Yet for centuries, indigenous tribes have defied the elements, surviving in conditions that should have been uninhabitable. But among them, a few tribes hold secrets that continue to baffle researchers. The Yukaghir people live in close harmony with nature, seeing themselves as part of a world full of spirits. Their beliefs mix shamanism and animism, where everything, from the hearth fire to the sun, holds spiritual meaning. At the center is Pugu, a powerful sun deity who acts as the moral judge, maintaining balance and overseeing human and spiritual behavior. Beyond Pugu, they honor many spirits that shape their daily lives. Each clan has an alma, or shaman, who bridges the physical and spiritual worlds. Shamans heal, protect, and guide their people, and are revered as sacred spirits after death. Animals like elk and reindeer are seen as relatives, each with its own spirit. Hunters follow strict, unwritten rules and rituals to respect these animals, ensuring luck and honor. Trees, called tree brothers, are also honored through ceremonies, showing respect for all living things, as everything is believed to have a soul. Dreams are important for seeing the future and helping the Yukaghir survive Siberia's harsh climate. Shamans interpret these dreams, offering guidance on weather, challenges, and seasonal changes. After Russian Orthodox Christianity arrived, many combined its teachings with their ancient beliefs, creating a unique spiritual blend that preserves their heritage while adapting to new influences. The Yukaghir's traditional life was deeply tied to the cycles of nature. Those living in tundra areas focused on reindeer herding, while forest dwellers hunted and fished. Their economy depended on seasonal patterns, tracking animals, fishing from canoes, and gathering plants during short summers. Before metal tools became widely available around the 1920s, people crafted tools from wood, bone, and stone. Their homes changed with the seasons, solid wooden or bark houses in winter, and light, portable shelters made of skins or leaves in summer. This adaptability was more than survival, it defined their culture. Their deep spiritual bond with the land shows a life fully connected to nature's powers. What lessons can we learn from the Yukaghir's use of dreams to navigate harsh environments and uncertain futures? Comment and chat with me. The Koryak people have always lived closely with the land, guided by a deep respect for nature. In their society, leadership isn't about titles, it's about making decisions together. Families work as one, making choices that reflect the strength and unity of the group. However, there's one person whose influence goes beyond the family, the shaman. Through rituals and drumming, shamans connect with the spirit world, guiding the people with wisdom passed down through the ages. For the Koryak, nature isn't just something they use, it's sacred. In that category, one thing that this tribe holds really dear to them is an animal. For centuries, the Koryak have relied on reindeer for survival. The reindeer is their lifeline, and it provides them with food, clothing, tools, and transport. Nothing is wasted, from the meat to the hides, every part of the animal is used. They've learned to live with the changing seasons, building semi-underground homes to survive the cold winters and sturdy tents to stay cool in the summer. Along the coast, the Koryak crafted boats from wood and animal skins to catch fish and marine animals. When summer comes, women gather berries and roots, making the most of the short growing season to feed their people. However, over time, outside forces have made life harder. Soviet policies aimed at changing their way of life slowly caused the Koryak language and traditions to fade. The Koryak language, once central to their identity, started disappearing as Russians took over. In 2007, the Koryak Autonomous Okrug was merged with Kamchatka Krai, pushing the Koryak people to the edge without political voice or representation. It's a shift that has raised real concerns about losing their culture and way of life. The Koryak's bond with reindeer has shaped their survival. However, they're not the only Arctic people whose fate is tied to an animal. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. The Evinks and Evinks share a history that's as old as Siberia itself. Born from ancient Tungusic-speaking tribes, this tribe first settled between Lake Baikal and the Amur River over 3,000 years ago, trading stories and traditions with the Yukaghir people. However, when Russian explorers and Cossacks showed up in the 17th century, everything changed. A fur tax called yasak was slapped on them, forcing them to expand into new lands, taking their resources with them. This marked the beginning of a complex relationship between the indigenous people and the outside world. The Evinks also descended from those Tungusic tribes and settled around the Sea of Okhotsk in northeastern Siberia. They didn't just passively accept Russian colonization, they resisted. However, by 1700 they too were subdued. These two groups, with their shared roots, have been fighting to maintain their way of life for centuries. Since those times, the Evinks were always on the move, using reindeer for transport and food. Their conical tents made from birch bark or reindeer hides were the perfect homes for a mobile lifestyle, while their diet of reindeer meat, fish, and game like elk and red deer kept them strong. The Evinks did the same, but on a smaller scale, reindeer herding, fishing, and using fish skins for clothing and shelter. At the heart of their society was a culture of sharing. When it was time for a hunt, everyone pitched in, ensuring no one went without. Leadership was found in the wisdom of the elders, including shamans who were spiritual guides and healers. Did you know the word shaman itself comes from the Evenki language? The Evenki language, part of the Manchu Tungusic family, ties these two groups to other indigenous peoples in Siberia. Even though the Evinks speak a similar language, their dialects have been shaped by their interactions with neighboring cultures. Sadly, these languages are disappearing fast as younger generations adopt Russian. The term Aleut was coined in the 18th century by Russian fur traders to describe two peoples, the Onondagas of the Aleutian Islands and the Sugpiaq of Koryak Island. Though they lived in similar environments, their cultures and languages were distinct. Russian colonization began in 1741, bringing trade, which eventually led to exploitation. Fur traders overhunted sea otters and seals, damaging ecosystems vital to the Aleut. Disease and warfare followed, causing the population to decline from around 25,000 to just 2,000 by the late 19th century. Their language, Unangam Tunu, once spoken widely, is now critically endangered, with just over 100 fluent speakers. Despite this, the Aleut are working hard to revive their language and traditions for future generations. Their culture is rooted in animism and shamanism, seeing spirits in the sea, wind, and land. Russian Orthodox Christianity arrived with missionaries, integrating with the Aleuts' original beliefs. Aleut men were skilled hunters, using baidarkas, skin kayaks to hunt seals, sea otters, whales, and walruses, while women gathered fish, birds, shellfish, and wild plants. This shared way of living formed the core of their community and identity. During World War II, the U.S. government forcibly relocated the Aleut to internment camps with harsh conditions, breaking families and disrupting their lives. The Aleut Restitution Act of 1988 offered compensation worth approximately $38 million in today's currency, but scars remain. While the Aleut face colonization and war, other groups like the Koryak endure slow cultural erosion due to modern policies. The Nenets are remarkable people who have mastered the art of surviving in one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Siberian tundra. For centuries, they've lived alongside their reindeer, developing a deep knowledge of the snow, ice, and permafrost around them. For this community, surviving has been engraved deep into their way of life. Given the climate they live in, one of the Nenets' unique skills is their ability to read the snow. With a vocabulary rich in terms for different types of snow, they can predict the weather, find the best grazing spots for their reindeer, and determine when it's safe to travel. In a world where climate change is rapidly altering their environment, this knowledge has never been more critical. Changing weather patterns and melting ice are disrupting their migration routes and grazing lands, putting their way of life at risk. At the same time, the Nenets live in chums, traditional cone-shaped tents made from reindeer hides. These tents are built to withstand temperatures that can drop to a bone-chilling -58 degrees Fahrenheit. However, there's more to the chum than just a shelter. The hides provide insulation, keeping the warmth in and the cold out. They're also easy to set up and take down, which is crucial as the Nenets move with their herds for seasonal migrations. It's also important to know that in Nenet society, family is everything. They organize themselves into clans and pass down lineage through the father. Each clan has its own territory and customs, and elders hold a special place in guiding decisions. However, it's the Tadia, the shamans, who truly hold the community together. As spiritual leaders, they maintain a delicate balance between humans and nature, ensuring that the Nenets remain connected to the land that sustains them. As more and more years have passed, the Nenets' lifestyle is under threat. Industrial projects like the Yamo Mega Project have expanded into their lands, disrupting migration routes and introducing pollution. This encroachment on their pastures poses a serious threat to the Nenets' traditional way of life. Their free movement across the land is no longer a given, and the very environment they've lived in for centuries is being altered in ways they can't control. Survival takes many forms. While the Nenets adapted to the brutal cold of Siberia, another community fought against forces far more devastating than nature itself. Imagine living in the Arctic, one of the harshest environments on Earth. For the Inuit, this frozen land is not just survival, it's home. Hunting is central to their life. They use harpoons for sea creatures and bows and arrows for land animals. Their kayaks and larger boats called Yukaghir navigate icy waters, showing their deep connection to nature. Caribou are vital. Their meat feeds families, hides become clothing, fat fuels lamps, and bones turn into tools. Inuit clothing, made from caribou or sealskin, keeps them warm. Parkas and mukluks boots are both functional and decorated, expressing identity. Language is key to keeping Inuit culture alive. Inuktitut carries stories, values, and ancient wisdom across generations. Inuit art, carved from soapstone, walrus tusks, and bones, depicts animals in daily life, holding deep spiritual meaning. Daily life adapts to the seasons. In winter, igloos made of packed snow offer insulated shelters. In summer, tents or turf huts made from stones and driftwood are used, placed near hunting grounds or water. Community spirit is central. Cooperation and sharing during hunts ensure everyone has enough. Parenting focuses on kindness, patience, and learning by watching, not punishment. Respect for each other and nature is fundamental. Modern challenges threaten this way of life. Moving from nomadic to settled living has reduced hunting, causing food insecurity. Many now rely on costly, less nutritious store-bought food. Social problems like alcoholism, youth suicide, and mental health issues have arisen. While the Inuit survive the Arctic's harshness, Siberia's Khanty and Mansi tribes maintain their own spiritual and cultural ties to nature. This highlights diverse ways ancient peoples connect with their environments and face modern challenges. What part of the Inuit, Aleut, or Nenet culture fascinated you the most? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. What if the world around you wasn't just made of land and sea, but of spirits? For the Yukaghir people, this isn't a fantasy, it's their way of life. They believe everything in nature has a soul, from towering mountains to tiny fish. Their shamans, respected spiritual guides, can heal the sick, communicate with unseen forces, and help maintain balance within the community. At the heart of their beliefs is Ella, the spirit of the universe, the unseen force that created all life. This deep respect for nature shapes everything, their traditions, survival, and art. Their culture isn't just spoken, it's carved, danced, and passed down through generations. The Yukaghir transform wood and ivory into breathtaking masks and sculptures. An important aspect of these pieces is that each tells a unique story. Their hypnotic dances performed at potlatch ceremonies honor the past and connect with the spirits. Surviving in the Arctic takes more than luck, it requires skill, knowledge, and resilience. The Yukaghir have mastered the land and sea, hunting seals, walrus, and caribou with harpoons, spears, and kayaks. To endure harsh winters, they built kashim, underground communal houses, in Ina, warm shelters lined with animal skins. While the Yukaghir find wisdom in the spirits of land and sea, another tribe reads the language of ice and snow. The Gwich'in people share a deep, sacred bond with the caribou, or vadzai, seeing them as essential to their culture, identity, and survival. As leader, Sarah James emphasizes caribou are not just what we eat, they are who we are. For generations, the Gwich'in have relied on caribou for food, clothing, shelter, and tools. Their hides became tents, fur was turned into clothes and bedding, and bones were crafted into tools. Creation myths tell of a time when the Gwich'in and Caribou were one, and after separation they vowed to honor the Caribou forever. Today, the porcupine Caribou herd's migration remains central to Gwich'in life. They have become expert trackers and caretakers, passing down knowledge about the caribou's movements and habitats. Their hunting is rooted in respect and sustainability, ensuring caribou survive for future generations. The Gwich'in also actively work to protect the caribou's habitat, especially the critical calving grounds in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. When oil companies threaten these lands, the Gwich'in advocate strongly to protect their way of life and the delicate balance they rely on. The Gwich'in Social and Cultural Institute leads this effort, championing the caribou's future. Their fight to preserve the caribou reflects a broader struggle for survival deeply tied to the land, echoing the challenges faced by other indigenous peoples with similar connections to nature. Subscribe now to join us on this journey through the amazing traditions and stories of indigenous Arctic communities. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The Khanty and Mansi tribes of Siberia share a strong spiritual bond with the bear, seen as a powerful ancestor protector and a revered figure connected to their supreme god, Gwich'in. The bear symbolizes justice and strength and holds a sacred place in their culture. Hunting a bear is a deeply spiritual act, followed by a ceremonial festival with singing, dancing, and storytelling to honor the bear's spirit. The bear's skin is respectfully displayed at home, helping the community heal and maintain their connection to nature. Their social system is patrilineal, passing traditions and family ties through the male line, shaping ceremonies and social life. Major celebrations include the whole community in special houses built to preserve culture. Spiritual rituals are central, with masks and costumes telling ancient stories. Shamans connect the human world and the spirit realm, highlighting the tribe's close relationship with spirituality. The Khanty and Mansi live in close harmony with their land, forests, rivers, and even the tiger, which provides for their needs. The Khanty have Arctic origins, while the Mansi descend from Finno-Ugric migrations, adding rich history to their identities. Divided into clans, they follow seasonal cycles and respect the changing environment. Today, cultural preservation efforts grow strong, led by the Khanty Mansi Autonomous Okrug in Russia. Exhibitions showcase artifacts, raising awareness, and federal recognition supports their rights. As they sustain their heritage in Siberia, other indigenous peoples like those in Sápmi continue their own rich traditions across Arctic landscapes. The Sami people have lived in the frozen lands of Sápmi, covering northern Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia's Kola Peninsula, for around 10,000 years, since shortly after the last ice age. Their culture grew from resilience and a deep bond with nature, sustained by hunting, fishing, and foraging according to seasonal rhythms. Around the year 1500 CE, they began domesticating reindeer, which became central to their culture, providing food, clothing, rituals, and identity. Today, about 10,000 Sami in Norway and Sweden still practice reindeer herding, moving along traditional migration routes protected by law to ensure fresh grazing. Reindeer are sacred, and every part is used, such as in bidos, a hearty stew made with reindeer meat, potatoes, and carrots, illustrating how deeply reindeer herding shapes Sami life. Despite historical challenges like land loss due to Scandinavian expansion and Christian missionary efforts, the Sami have preserved their culture and traditions. Their vibrant music, yoik, one of Europe's oldest singing styles, honors people, animals, and places. Their art, called duwaji, includes weaving, wood carving, and silver jewelry, reflecting their connection to nature and heritage. The colorful silver-adorned traditional clothing gaktia expresses Sami creativity and pride, keeping their ancient culture alive in the modern world. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel to enjoy more similar content. We'd love to hear your thoughts on fascinating things you have heard about these Arctic tribes in the comments. Until next time. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.